Hello, amazing friends. Welcome to another inspiring episode of Enny's Diamond Stories, where stories of love, faith, and courage come alive in the most heart-touching and beautiful ways. If you love stories filled with emotions, suspense, and godly lessons, you've found your new favorite spot. Today's story is rich, deep, and emotional. So, get comfortable and stay with me till the end. You won't want to miss a second of this. Love is a beautiful gift from God, but sometimes life throws obstacles in its way, obstacles that test faith, patience, and loyalty. Today's story takes you into the lives of two young people whose hearts met on a university campus, only to be pulled apart by old family wounds, business rivalries, and broken traditions. But when God writes a love story, no one can erase it. This story will stir your heart, test your emotions, and remind you of the unstoppable power of true love guided by faith. In a lively, busy university known for its towering libraries and vast green fields, two strangers began a story they never saw coming. Amara was a cheerful, determined young woman studying managerial economics. She had a heart for God, loved singing in the campus fellowship choir, and carried the warmth of kindness in every smile she shared. Roland was a quiet, intelligent engineering student with big dreams and a deep love for the things of God. He kept to himself, often seen reading under the old oak tree or leading youth Bible studies. Fate brought them together on a rainy afternoon. A charity event was about to be cancelled because of the storm, but Amara refused to give up. She gathered a few volunteers, and Roland, unexpectedly, was among them. That afternoon was the beginning of a quiet friendship, one built on shared faith, laughter, and long conversations about dreams, fears, and life's uncertainties. Weeks turned to months. Their bond grew, strengthened by prayers, fellowship, and group projects. Soon, Roland found himself looking forward to every choir practice just to hear Amara's voice, while she felt a calmness in his presence that no one else gave her. By their final year, what started as quiet friendship had blossomed into love, pure, simple, and God-centered. There was no rush, no pressure. They both knew their hearts had found something special. Graduation came with celebrations and promises. They agreed to pray, focus on their careers, and, in a year, introduce each other to their families, trusting God for what was next. But neither of them knew the storm waiting ahead. When the time finally came, Amara returned home with joy, eager to share her heart's desire. But her family's reaction froze the smile on her face. Her father, a wealthy businessman known for his stern ways, instantly recognized Roland's family name. What Amara didn't know was that a bitter business rivalry had existed between their families for over a decade. Their fathers had once been partners, but a failed deal had torn them apart, leaving wounds and grudges buried in silence. On the other side, Roland's parents reacted with equal shock. His mother, protective and cautious, warned him against getting involved with a family that had once caused theirs so much pain. Both households forbade the union, turning their love into a battlefield neither had expected. For days, Amara cried alone in her room. The one man who made her heart whole was now forbidden because of battles she never fought. Roland, too, struggled in prayer, torn between honoring his parents and protecting the love that felt God-ordained. The days turned heavy, messages were fewer. Campus memories felt distant. It seemed like darkness was falling over a story meant to shine. Yet in their hearts, neither could let go. Thank you for tuning into this channel. Don't forget to subscribe to Enny's Diamond Stories, click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new story. Share this video with your friends and family, and let's spread God's love together. One evening, Amara took a bold step. She sent Roland a message asking to meet at their favorite lakeside park. No promises, no arguments, just honesty. Under the soft glow of sunset, two hearts spoke without blame. Pain was shared, fears confessed. There were no angry words, just two people clinging to hope, refusing to let bitterness destroy what God had started. They agreed to seek God's face separately, not forcing what seemed impossible but trusting that if the story was his, he would write the ending. Weeks became months. Both families remained firm. The silence was heavy, but in their quiet places of prayer, faith kept flickering. After Amara and Roland's bold decision to trust God in the silence, something began to stir, not just between them, but in the hearts of their parents too. Then came a sudden twist. An important business crisis shook Amara's father's company. The only reliable solution was technical expertise that Roland's father's firm alone could offer. A face-to-face meeting became unavoidable. Amara's father, Mr. Okafor, was a man known for his pride. Years ago, his business partnership with Mr. Adeyemi, Roland's father, had crumbled. What had started as a thriving friendship had ended in cold, bitter rivalry over a contract betrayal neither of them fully understood. The pain was buried under layers of ego and silence. Their wives, two women of quiet strength, had tried to build bridges in secret, but the walls had grown too high. When the business crisis struck Mr. Okafor's company and only Mr. Adeyemi's firm had the expertise to salvage the situation, he was left with no other option than to look for a lasting solution to the problem, which is to meet with Mr. Adeyemi. At first, tension filled the air. The first meeting was heavy with unspoken pain. Years of anger hovered like clouds. But as conversations began, something unexpected happened. The conference room was filled with years of bottled-up emotions, memories of partnership turned sour, and the uncomfortable knowledge that their children had fallen in love. The meeting began stiffly, words cold and formal. But something unexpected happened. As discussions deepened, the old wounds surfaced. A misunderstanding about a business deal that neither of them had properly confronted years ago was finally laid bare. It wasn't betrayal that had separated them. It had been poor communication and assumptions. Old misunderstandings were cleared. Pride melted. Both men realized how foolish the rivalry had been. Shared memories returned. Forgiveness quietly slipped in. Tears welled in the eyes of Mr. Adeyemi's wife, who had sat quietly for years, watching both men waste precious years. The weight of bitterness crumbled. Apologies were made, not just business apologies, but apologies of old friends who had allowed pride to take root. The once broken friendship found healing in that room. As the business partnership was restored, so was the lost bond between the families. For Amara and Roland, this healing wasn't just permission to marry. It was a sign that their love had become a bridge, reconnecting generations. Their quiet faith and patient love had forced old wounds into the light. After the reconciliation, the families began gathering together, starting with quiet dinners and Sunday worship. The mothers, once distant, shared recipes and laughter again. The fathers, now older and wiser, told stories of their youth, grateful that love had found a way to heal what years of silence couldn't. If you have watched this video to this extent, don't forget to subscribe to Enny's Diamond Stories. Click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new story. Share this video with your friends and family, and let's spread God's love together. After long hours, an agreement was reached, not just for business, but for peace. In the weeks that followed, Amara's father called her in. This time his face wasn't harsh, but soft. He admitted his mistakes, his pride, and gave his blessing. Roland's parents followed, humbled and grateful. The call Amara had prayed for came at last. A love that waited through storms and silence was finally free. Months later, a simple, joyful wedding filled the little chapel on the hill. The air was thick with hymns, laughter and tears, not of pain, but of deep, long-awaited joy. And as the sun set that evening, Amara and Roland stood together, not just as husband and wife, but as a testimony that God's love story never fails, no matter how fierce the storms. At the wedding, it wasn't just two young hearts being joined, it was two families embracing, breaking the chains of bitterness. Both fathers, standing side by side, gave heartfelt speeches. Their words weren't stiff or formal, but filled with humility and gratitude for second chances. Amara and Roland's marriage became a living testimony within both families. Cousins who had never met started visiting. Business collaborations flourished once more, this time built on trust and transparency. Most touching of all, love was extended back to the parents. Amara and Roland made sure to honor both sets of parents, inviting them often, including them in decisions, and cherishing them. The parents, once distant, now found comfort in each other's company, growing old with peace rather than regret. What began as young love battling against rivalry ended as a river of restoration flowing through two homes, proof that God not only heals hearts but also generations. Lessons to learn. 1. True love faces trials. Godly love will be tested, but faith strengthens it. 2. Family conflicts can delay, but cannot destroy God's plan. Healing is possible when hearts are willing. 3. Patience and prayer are powerful weapons. Instead of forcing solutions, waiting on God brings peace. 4. Pride and unforgiveness hurt generations, but when healed, they restore peace beyond expectations. 5. When love honors God first, it conquers storms. Purposeful love rooted in faith endures. 6. Love is a bridge for healing, not just between lovers, but within families. 7. Bitterness and pride can separate generations, but humility rebuilds faster than years of silence. 8. Young people can become vessels for restoration through godly decisions. 9. Forgiveness restores more than peace, it can revive destinies, partnerships, and legacies. 10. God uses unexpected situations to reopen old wounds so he can heal them completely. Amara and Roland's story isn't just about romance, it's about courage, patience, and the healing power of God. Their story reminds us that when God is the author of a love story, even old wounds and family rivalries cannot stand in the way. Every storm, every tear, every delay, all serve a greater purpose. If this beautiful, faith-filled story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, leave a comment about what you learned from the story and subscribe to Enny's Diamond Stories. Here, you'll discover inspiring Christian love stories, life-changing lessons, and heartwarming faith adventures. Hit that notification bell, because another unforgettable story is coming your way very soon. Till we come your way again, remember, love conquers all, even rivalry. Stay blessed. Bye.